Decompression theory sounds complicated, but it shouldn't be. Let's have a look at the basics every diver should know, even if you only plan on doing no-stop dives. On the blog, I recently reviewed Mark Powell's book, Deco for Divers, which is a good introductory book to the topic of decompression diving. I'll put a link in the description below. In this video, we'll have a brief look at some of the physics of gas and the physiological effects it has on our bodies when we dive. There are three basic laws of gas that affect us when we're diving. The first is Boyle's law. This is the law that's related to volume and pressure. The second law is Dalton's law. This is basically the law that tells us how gas mixes react under pressure. And finally, we have Henry's law. This one is about how gases dissolve in liquids. This is the one that we're really interested in, because this is the one that affects our body the most when we're diving. The law itself states the amount of gas that will dissolve in a liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of that gas. That's a bit of a mouthful, so let's have a look at a simple animation of this in action. Here we can see a liquid and a gas at 1 bar pressure, so about the same pressure that we have on the surface of the water. We can see that some of the gas particles are dissolving in the liquid, some are diffusing back out of the liquid. Let's see what happens when we start to increase the pressure to 2 bar. There are now more gas particles on the gas-liquid interface, and we can see that it's taking some time for the liquid to become saturated. Let's increase the pressure to 4 bar and we'll see what happens. Now we can see that the liquid is becoming more saturated with gas particles. When we start decreasing the pressure again, the gas is going to start to diffuse out of the liquid back into the gas medium until we get back to our original state. So this is exactly what happens to the tissues in our body when we dive. In this case, the gas that we're concerned about is nitrogen. So when we breathe in and out, nitrogen is dissolved in our blood and it's transported from our lungs throughout the body. So when we dive, the pressure of the nitrogen in our breathing gas increases, and therefore more nitrogen is dissolved in our tissues. And as we start to ascend, the nitrogen diffuses out of the tissues, goes back into the bloodstream, and then gets exhaled with a normal breathing pattern. But why do we need to know about these physiological processes? Quite simply, we need some way of tracking how much nitrogen has been dissolved into our tissues. And this is where dive computers, or historically dive tables, can help us. Dive computers basically track our depth over time, and using some complex maths, they just work out how much nitrogen we've absorbed. As long as the computer thinks that we can ascend directly to the surface at a maximum rate of 9 meters a minute, we're doing what's called a no-stop dive. This is also known as staying within the NDL, which is no decompression limit, time or depth. Decompression injuries are usually caused by tissues becoming oversaturated and then, for lack of a better term, nitrogen starts fizzing out. This can happen for a number of reasons. The computer may have got it wrong, you, the diver, may have ascended straight to the surface at a fast rate, or you may have skipped some mandatory decompression stops. Overexertion, dehydration, lack of physical fitness can also all play a role. But in some very rare cases, you can do everything right and still have a bad day. There is no 100% guarantee that you won't get DCS ever. Decompression theory is a topic that every diver should be aware of, or at least the basics covered in this video. If you want to know more, a good starting point is Mark Powell's book. It covers some of the historical research, the physics and physiology behind decompression theory, and explains exactly how all these different algorithms actually work. If you head over to my blog, you'll also find some links there to further reading in the review. If you want more book reviews, explanation videos like this one, or general dive topics, there will be weekly videos coming out. So hit the subscribe button, ding that little bell thing, and you'll get notifications when a new video is uploaded. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments section, and if you like this video, there's a thumbs up button down there, and also tell your friends. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and others. Stay safe, and don't forget, always have fun.